All right, everybody, how's it going out there in Biker News World? Bob's back with another continuing Thursday night interview series. Today, we've got a really interesting interview with a group called One Broken Biker. And the representative I'm talking to is Red. She's got her own YouTube channel called Riding with Red. So get over there and check that one out as well. And in the meantime, let's find out about One Broken Biker and everything that you guys are doing. It sounds like a busy place over there. How are you? I don't call you Red for the interview, do I?
Oh, you can call me Red. You can call me Ashley. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Thanks, Ashley. I probably will. I don't know. Anyways, um, how long you guys been around doing the One Broken Biker thing?
We are on our 13th year of supporting injured bikers.
And whose brainchild was
it? Brainchild. Well, I started it not intentionally. It happened by accident. My dad had crashed his motorcycle, and we put together, and I say we, I had a co-founder, Elizabeth, and I put together a ride, an event, and that was to support my family. And then it rolled into, okay, we're going to do this one time a year. And then it rolled into, I think it was like 2015. I feel like we exploded, but we went from helping like one or two people a year to helping, I think it was like 28 or 29 injured riders the following year. So that almost crippled us because we were not set up for that volume of people reaching out. And I know only 28, 29, we help over 200 a year right now. So that's a very small amount, but it was just too much because we were not set up for even how people contacted us. I would get messages on Facebook, Instagram, people would text me, call me, and then, you lose track of them. And it was very difficult at one point because we were getting too many inquiries and not able to organize it. But we fixed that the following year and created a website and created a process for Port the Injured Rider goes into our website. And then from our website goes to a group of volunteers. It goes to our injury director, and then he gives it to a group of volunteers that volunteer to deal with the injured rider. So make all the phone calls and talk with them.
So over the years, you had to streamline it and pinpoint it. Because once you make it more efficient, you can help more people.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what happened. And it was pretty incredible.
And how did you end up going? Is it all the way across Canada now? I saw something in Nova Scotia that far east.
Yeah, we are definitely across Canada. That has become a little bit of a struggle, and we're really trying to hone in how we're going to raise the funds. But when I started this organization, the way I thought of it is I never wanted somebody report an injured rider from Ontario and their brother was injured and us say no. So From the very beginning, I've always wanted it to be national across Canada. And that's kind of how we've run it. So we have regional teams in each province. Well, not each province yet, but in the majority of the provinces. Alberta has 4 regional teams. And then we've got Saskatchewan. Ontario just started up in Ottawa, and we've got a Toronto one just starting as well. And then the Maritimes, we've kind of just wrapped them all into one. But we're just needing people that want to dedicate their time and volunteer and support One Broken Biker.
Absolutely. Now, I was hoping that we would get some of our. So I've made some friends in some other biker news. It's a small genre, so I've got a fella from across the ditch saying hi. And Claire, you might want to watch this one. I don't know if you guys have got something similar in the United States, but this is a group called One Broken Biker. And right now, I'm just started the interview, and I don't even know the criteria how to do it. So check it out, bro. You might find it interesting. I think you will, because there's lots of things that you got to think about. Because then you got each region. You got to hope that each region does things the same as the home base does, and the same formula. And then there's a lot of fundraising efforts to go into something like that. There has to be, right? There has to be
Oh,
more
yeah.
than just rides and stuff. There must be, like, you have to ask the corporations and stuff, eh?
We really do. Like, we try to get more people involved. Obviously, it's difficult because not that it's hard to get behind, but we need more funding. This
Right.
organization has grown drastically over the last couple years, and it's at this point where we donate $800 per injured rider, and that's just to go to help them in any way that they may need. We don't care how you spend it. It's none of our business. It's just there for you for right after an accident. But we're at a point now where we're helping so many injured riders that we're not raising enough funds.
Right.
So this year, for the last, like, I think it's been 3 or 4 years, we're at $800. We started off at 200, and we've worked our way up to support more and more, but we may have to drop it down next year and do 500 or 300 because we're just helping so many injured. But we just
Right.
hope that more people will get involved and want to, support. And then that way we can continue to help these injured riders.
Yeah, and hopefully, I don't know how much help I will give you, but hopefully a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I've been trying to do. And I've been trying to show that bikers, whether they're one percenters or whatever kind of motorcycle club they're in, are not all bad people. Like, because that's all you get in the news.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to show the other side of motorcycle enthusiasts. I take it you ride and all that, do you?
Oh yeah.
What do you ride?
Well, right now
I'm sport bike.
What's that?
I thought I saw you on a sport bike on YouTube. No?
You know what? You might have seen me on YouTube. I do a lot of I used to do a lot of bike reviews and different types of bikes.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm working on a Street Glide 2016 Street Glide. I'm actually doing a partnership with Calgary Cycle City, McLeod Law, and then Drag Specialties. And we have stripped down a 2016 Street Glide, and we're going to basically let the community vote on it. So if you follow us on myself, Ride with Red, or Calgary Cycle City or McLeod Law on Facebook or Instagram, we're doing a full build, and that will be a bike that I will ride for maybe a year, and then we'll decide what we're going to do with it. We may give it away. We're going to showcase it, get it custom painted, and really make it something special. And the community is voting on the different parts that we're putting on.
Oh, I get it. So they're helping. They're picking the build.
Yeah, we give them 3 options and then they pick. So originally when we put out a performance bagger, a stretched bagger, or what was the other one?
Really?
I can't even remember what the third one, but they picked performance bagger.
It's gonna fly.
Yeah.
Nice. That was my last bike. Was a Street Glide. I love that bike. They hit the nail right on the head with the nice body line, and
that's what I like.
Yeah, it's kind of sexy, that bike. I love it.
Yeah, I rode a Road Glide for quite a few years and really enjoyed it. I like the bulkiness of it, but I'm looking forward to trying the Street Glide and seeing how it goes.
Yeah. I found I love the way they handle and everything. Nothing bad to say about the Street Glide. Yeah. And you said that this all started from your dad getting injured.
Yeah.
What was he riding? He was just out and enjoying himself, or?
Well, we were actually together. I just got my license. I was on my Sportster, and he was out on his. He had a bagger. I don't even know. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was like an Ultra, like an old man touring bike. And we were riding and basically just a road rage situation. A lady, she almost rear-ended me and then was trying to get by me, and she couldn't because we were on a one-way highway. And then we got onto the main highway, Deerfoot Trail, and then she came up next to us and was very angry and yelling and screaming. And then she ended up pulling in front of my dad and brake checked him. and we were going about 110, 120 on the highway. And
Oh,
yeah, and he went down and he was very badly injured, broke his back, broke his neck, almost ripped his whole arm off,
oh
brain
man.
injury. Yeah, he was mangled. He was in the hospital in the ICU for, well, in the trauma unit for, God, almost 4 months, 3 and a bit.
Wow, hate to hear that.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
horrible, and I witnessed it, and
Yeah. So now you got that in every.
yeah,
Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
yeah,
PTSD
changed.
is a real thing. It really is.
Oh, yeah, it changed my
Yeah,
whole life for
yeah.
sure.
You'll be waking up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, and you just remember the tail end of it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's weird, eh?
Oh,
I'll
it's
be-
just horrible.
Yeah, that is a bad deal. And then, and I take it that pretty much changed everything for his life as far as an income and going to work every day and all that, right?
Oh,
After
yeah.
that, it's just basically trying to stay alive, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Now, what happened with the lady? Not that we should dwell on it too much. Did she at least get a
Yeah,
dangerous driving?
he spent over 10 years in litigation
Yeah.
and trying to deal with it. Obviously it settled, but it was not for very much. So for what he lost and what changed his life, yeah,
Mhm.
it was definitely, definitely not something I would ever recommend.
Yeah, 100%, Doug. Doug agrees. Yeah, that is a drag.
Oh, wow, now I see it. You got people on the side talking. There you go.
Yeah. So
Oh,
if they ask us any questions, then we can answer them in real time,
great.
right?
Maybe I
Yeah.
can share this
It,
somehow.
it's not a bad platform.
Yeah. It says stream with your audience, but I don't have an account.
Oh, maybe that. Why? I wonder why it doesn't give you. For me, it gives me my destinations. It gives me the YouTube icon and the Facebook icon.
Yeah.
On but that's just like you say. Um, I got an account and all that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. But
That's a
yeah,
fun one.
so
It's too bad that they didn't let you share it out because you got more people than I
I
got.
got lots of people. That's why I'm like, if I don't want to lose anybody, but it says sign up for free. And I was trying to do it while we were talking, but I was like, am I going to not be able to answer?
Right. So after 13 years, so are you still basically the one taking the reins on the whole organization?
Yes.
Oh, you
Yes,
know,
I am. I look forward to, yeah, it's a large organization. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of work, and I don't think people realize how much goes into nonprofits like this.
Mhm.
And especially with our organization that is at the size it is. So we have a national board, and then they're basically chapters. We just don't call them chapters because
Right.
we're very much not trying to be a club or anything. We're a nonprofit. And yeah, so we have different regional teams, and they raise funds and spread awareness and help out. But I would say I'm the head of it, but I have an amazing board of directors that really take a lot of the stress off of me and do, like, I wouldn't be able to do it without them. And honestly, it took 13 years to find these people.
Yeah.
And sweet Jesus, if they ever leave me. I just they all have their own positions and they do really well at it. And I just want to keep them forever. At some point, I if this organization could ever make money, like get paid, I would never take a salary. I would never get paid for it. But if we could ever get government grants, yeah, because especially our injury department, it's such a heavy to deal with it because our injury director, he read 221 injured people, like read their forms out, and then he has to hand them off. And it's just a lot of stress. And yeah, our treasurer, she's just wonderful. She's got her hands kind of in everything and really helps out. And yeah, membership coordinators, like phenomenal as well. And our secretary, everybody, like we've got a great team. And I always tell them anytime somebody wants to take over, I am free to take over. Somebody can step into my role.
Now you don't want to leave yet.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do my part from this end. Anytime I hear of an event or a show you're going to be at, I'll make sure it gets in a video. I'm up to doing like a video a day now because it's the season.
Yeah.
So I do on Wednesday night, I'll do a video about where all the weekly rides are on Thursday. And then on Thursday night, I'll do a video about where all the weekly rides are on Friday and so on and so forth. And then on Friday and through the week, I'll mention all the events that are coming up that weekend.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to cover all of Canada. Now, I had a nice juicy list of all the weekly rides in Alberta,
Mhm.
and I saved it on my Facebook, but it seems like the original poster took the post down, and I
Ah.
can't find it anymore.
Well, I could tell you where to go to find that.
Okay, good.
Alberta, Ride in Alberta.
Right now, is that the best one? That's got the
Yeah,
most
and he would
info?
be somebody you should interview too, because he started basically a Facebook page during COVID. It's got over 30,000
I was
followers.
gonna say that one's done really, really well. I
Yeah,
think I'm a
and
member of that.
yeah, and he's really trying to grow what he's doing, yeah, he's a really great guy.
I've had, you know what? It's Riding Alberta, right?
It's Ride in Alberta.
With an N.
Yeah.
I've had, like, as far as the people in my group are, the most active. Oh shit! Did I lose you? Oh, I know why. No, I don't know why. I think. Oh, okay, Red popped off somewhere. Okay, she'll be back. Yeah, you're back. I see you.
I think I'm just trying to get this signed in so that I can share this.
Yeah. If you can, like I say, that'd be phenomenal. But yeah, the most active and the most involved in like my group and when I come on for an interview is mostly people from Alberta.
Really?
Yeah, they're right into the bike scene. Where
Yeah.
are you? Doug's in Lloydminster.
I was gonna say the name Doug Ruh. Yeah, it sounds familiar. I don't know if I've ever met him before, but
Yeah, like I say, the most active, and they get in there and in the comments and send me, because I don't mind people sending me stuff on Messenger.
yeah,
It doesn't bother me.
that's great. So how long have you been doing this?
Just a little bit under a year.
Oh, wow.
So I'm getting there. I'm trying to get everything that most people take 2-3 years to get done in a year.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to accelerate. I did a big interview on a guy from the States. He's called Chatting with Stacks. And I'm a retired 1%er from back 23 years ago, maybe. 02, I left the club. So I did a big interview with him about my whole time in the club story. It was pretty cool. You know, edited, made for TV version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can't tell everything, but it was a pretty cool one. So that got me some exposure. I wrote a book. Same thing. I changed the names and all that shit, the club names and everything. And then I put it on paper and I wrote a book.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
One night at the Playpen, it's on Amazon.
There you go.
Yeah, man, it's all right. Yeah, and I'm trying. I figure I may as well really try this because, like I say, I was a 1%er at one time. You know, I can whitewash, I can bullshit, but I did my fair share of crap and things.
Yeah.
Way. So I like to show the public that, you know, if you get right down to brass numbers, that most bikers aren't down there to be living like that.
No.
And the ones that are, just stay out of their way, I guess.
Yeah.
Stay out of their business, they'll stay out of yours.
Right. Yeah. I think I got it live on my Facebook, so that worked out, saying that I'm live now.
Cool. Nice.
So there you go.
That's not a bad platform, eh?
No, not at all.
Oh yeah, and I'm going to show everybody what the Facebook page looks like while we're talking. So that's just searching One Broken Biker on Facebook, and this page will pop up for you. And this page does everything. Does it tell you how how to donate and how to report an injured biker and everything?
Yeah, so this is our Facebook. This just has a lot of information of like injured riders. We have a perks program. So different companies would jump on board and they offer discounts to our members. It's $45 for a membership. That money just goes to help injured riders. But a kickback is that we partner with different companies so that they can get support through their company. And then, yeah, you'll see lots of videos of me interviewing injured riders, people we've supported. And then obviously lots of stuff of our upcoming events and events that our regional teams are at and our swag and all of that kind of stuff. But the website, onebrokenbiker.org, that's where you report the injured rider. And there's a link that you click. It says report an injured rider. There you go. Yeah. And then it's just a form that you have to fill out and it's basic information, but yeah, it's all goes right to our team and tells us about the accident, who was injured, who do we contact. It explains that you've got 6 months to report an accident from going down. Also that it has to be a roadworthy accident, no dirt or racing. And you've got to be a Canadian resident. So you have to live in Canada and be a Canadian citizen. We don't care if you crash on a trip in Mexico, but you just have to be a resident of Canada to get the support because all the funding is raised here. Yeah, those are the main things that and then you have to have proof of accident. So anything from doctors, police report, pictures of your motorcycle, something that has some sort of date on it, we just ask. And then, yeah, it's a pretty simple process. And all of our injury outreach people that volunteer in that position, a lot of them are either injured riders or somebody in their family's been injured, or they just have that type of compassion where they want to actually deal and talk to the injured people.
And I suppose the people that you've helped, I'm sure, would be more than willing once they're healthy to come back and do their part.
Yeah, I would say so. Not everybody likes that type. Like I'm not good. I do some of the calls too, but I'm not good at it. And why I'm not good at it is I'm too empathetic and I just would give all the money away. Like it's a thing. Like we have strict bylaws and rules and I would just give everybody, I just want to help everybody. So I'm best to be on this side, on the fundraising side and pushing the organization forward. Yeah.
And the fundraising side it's going to be a more than a full-time job.
Well, full-time volunteer, we're all volunteers, but it is a full-time job for sure.
Exactly.
The amount of work that we put into this is a lot, but we've got some incredible law firms that have jumped on board with us. And they're personal injury firms. Well, both of them do personal injury. McLeod Law does everything in Alberta, but they also donate a lot of money to us and help us raise a lot of money. So that's definitely a perk. So McLeod Law and Cumming and Gillespie, they actually bought us motorcycles to give away. So wow. Yeah, if you go to the website, you can click on motorcycle giveaway.
Yeah. And
then we have a road glide and a Indian Scout that we are giving away in November. There you go. Bam. It's free to enter. If you come to an event, that's how you get your free ticket. For every membership that we sell, they're $45. You get your perks program. You get all the stuff. You're supporting injured riders. We also fill out a free ticket for you. But if you come in person, you get a free ticket automatically. And you also get a free ticket every time somebody buys a membership. So yeah, all the money raised goes to supporting injured riders. And like I said, last year, we donated over $176,000 to injured riders just last year. And wow. The motorcycles is a big draw and it helps us raise funds. So we're really trying to push that. Buy your membership. You get a free ticket in to enter one of these bikes.
Those memberships is a great idea. I'm going to have to try to make an Ontario event this summer just so I can get one.
Yeah. What area are you in?
I'm in Southwest Ontario, so I'll be closest to the Toronto one when they get.
Yeah. So Toronto should be up and running. Like we're just sorting out the people right now and always looking for more people in like major cities if they want to start a regional team. Those are definitely something Oh, I see Sheldon is on here. So Sheldon just said they're both beautiful bikes. Sheldon is our Calgary president.
Oh, beautiful, man.
Yeah.
So it worked.
What's up, Sheldon?
That's awesome. It worked.
Sheldon,
Man.
while you're on here, could you just share this on our social medias? Because I am trying to do it while I'm talking, but it's not. It's more difficult.
Yeah, man. The more help, the better.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody comes to you guys and say, "Hey, I'm doing an event and I'd like to use my event to help you guys raise some money," are you open to those sort of approaches?
Yes, 100%. We are absolutely like we just had a $1,300 donation came in from the Saskatchewan Motorcycle Coalition, and they did a 50-50 and donated all the money to us. Yeah, we definitely have lots of groups that do their own events and then
Mhm.
they do a kickback to us and like support us. Like last year we did an event with Fresh Start. It's in Calgary
Yeah.
and they donated their poke. They raise money for it's an addiction
Rehab.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna butcher this.
Fresh
Yeah.
Start Recovery.
Yeah.
They come on my timeline.
Yeah, exactly. So they offered up their poker run and they donated the money to us. They donated a couple $100. And then yeah, we have lots of organizations out there that just the Crowns Ride, that's in Alberta. It's a group, it's a riding group. And they I think it's like $6,000 or $7,000 every September. They meet us at our last bike night in Edmonton and they basically hand us a bag of cash and they're like, here you go, we raise this for you. So yeah.
I'm just talking to my dogs. Do you guys do a weekly bike night?
Yeah, in Calgary, we do every Wednesday from May to September. We are at the Big Rock Brewery / Big Sky Barbecue in Calgary. And then we do a monthly bike night in Edmonton, a monthly bike night in Langdon.
Oh,
Langley.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
In
you do
BC. Yeah.
No, come on, George. Don't. Is all that stuff on the Facebook thing that I had opened a minute ago? Okay,
Yeah.
good. So what I do is I save all them and I'll put those in my weekly videos.
Yeah, we
Right.
love that. Yeah, any support for this organization obviously is like please support us because we are helping so many. Like last year, it almost crippled us with how many injured riders we helped. Like we typically were like, okay, we're going to help about 150 to 170 injured, 70 on the high side. And last year we went to 221 injured. And that
Wow.
was, we were not prepared for it.
No, because last year was the first time I ever heard mention of this organization. I was like, I gotta find them. I gotta find them. For some reason, I think the post I saw was from the Maritimes.
Could have been.
So I thought you guys were based in the Maritimes, and I just wasn't sending the messages, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. So this time, I sent the message to the Ottawa, and then they got it over to you, and all went nice and smooth. Except I lost the conversation thread, and I was panicking tonight at 7:30 because I couldn't find you.
But then I saw it and I was like, oh, I had it in my phone. So I was going to hunt you down.
Good. That's I don't know. I was doing some house cleaning on my phone. That's a problem about having these big groups. All the bots that come through.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, why don't we be friends?
Oh, yeah.
Ben and all.
Yeah.
It takes forever,
So,
right?
yeah. Like people don't get, like you run any type of group, even just you're running this group. The amount of work you have to do on the back end, all the questions, all the like especially for us, we're not a business. We're a volunteer-based organization. And
Right.
sometimes I'm not kidding. I'm like, fuck off. Leave me alone. Like I just want to sleep.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then there's a whole other side of me that I absolutely love this organization. And I don't know how to explain it, but it just like lights me up. And Sheldon, if you're still on here, he's going to laugh at this. We were going to do because we've switched our locations for bike nights. So we're going to the new location on Saturday just to do a run through because we do bike games and we've got like a show and shine. So I said to Sheldon, like, yeah, let's just do like a meetup with our group and like we'll run through it. And I was like, well, Sheldon, why don't we invite people and we could do like some B-roll and some videoing and get
Yeah.
like people involved. Okay, cool. There's gonna be like 100 fucking people show up, and we just like threw it together. It's like a last minute thing, but I just put a lot of work on our plate.
How many people came?
Well, it's this Saturday.
Oh, it's coming up.
It's this Saturday. Yeah. We just announced it yesterday, and I'm like, I've had nonstop messages like, yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there. So I hope we have over 100, and we're going to do a bunch of video and, drone footage of the bikes in the parking lot just to do some promotional stuff for our upcoming bike nights. Because we've been doing bike nights at a different location for so many years, we've really got to like hammer the marketing so everybody knows bike nights
just
are
to get
now
them to
here.
move over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just found them all on your page.
Yeah.
So I drag them and click them and
Yeah.
put them in, and I'm putting together a big one of those drive sticks, memory sticks,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
take to the printer, and we're gonna do a 6-month calendar of all the biker events that
Cool.
I can find in Canada. So I found
Yeah.
all these, so these will all get on there now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like these are not all of them because we have about 73 events this year.
Okay,
So
So-
I haven't
so-
got to putting them all in, but yeah,
I'll keep
A
checking
lot.
back.
a lot of them in Alberta, but our BC team is just the lady that's running it is kind of like me and just needs to take some chill pills and maybe take some medication because she's honestly the exact same as me and she wants to do all the events. So shout out
wanna
to
do
you,
everything
Lori,
yourself or
or
something?
Dawn. What's that?
Is that it? You want to do everything yourself?
It's
You don't
not.
like
I
to
will hand it
delegate?
off. I'll hand it off any day, all day, but I don't like asking volunteers to do everything because I
Right.
feel bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is that one of your people?
No, I don't know.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Look
Look at that. You're getting tons of people.
I love it. What was I going to ask you next? So, what was I going to ask you next? I had something to ask you next. So, when you guys are getting together, is it very, well, I guess I can look on there, but I'll ask you anyway. How many runs you do, or does each region kind of pick
Yeah.
out their own fundraisers?
So this is
how
the
many
first
and-
year that we have a national board, and then we have all the different regional teams under it, chapters under it. So before it was, we only had a couple regional teams and they would do their events, but now every regional team does their own events. We will try and support them by showing up with the truck and trailer, and we've got the bikes and stuff. Obviously the bikes can't be at every single event. But we try our best to do that. And yeah, we've got they plan all of their own poker runs, their bike nights. We just help them with laying it out. Like, this is what you do, this is how you do it, etc.
Right. How much work is it to get a bike night off the ground? It's all about putting yourself in as many. These Facebook groups are great for that, eh?
They are great for that, for sure. And it's also like, I would say, not everybody is made to do consistent bike nights because it takes a lot of work and it's consistency. And obviously with our bike nights, we get like anywhere, if it's a slow night, we'll get like 50 people. I've seen upwards of like 300 to 400 people at our bike nights. So
Cool.
which is awesome, but you have to have the location. That's the biggest thing. If you don't have the proper location to bring the people to
park
feed them.
Oh
to
yeah,
park them,
to feed them too. Yeah.
it's a gong show, and then people
Right.
don't want to come back and don't want to do their thing. Our biggest thing is we're trying to always evolve our bike nights and make sure you want to come back. But the biggest thing is when you come to an OBB event or a bike night or buy a membership, you're not just supporting OBB, you're supporting injured riders, and we need you to support it. So if you had a shitty fucking burger at one of our bike nights and you don't come back because of that, you're not hurting us, you're hurting the injured riders.
The bikers, yeah. And yeah, that's another thing I never considered. You guys needed to be ongoing, or if not even getting bigger each time,
Yeah.
because each year obviously you're getting way more people
Yeah.
who need. and you probably don't even get the tip of the iceberg for how
No.
many people go down.
Oh yeah, I would say like with us even having last year like 221 injured riders reported, um, that alone was that was a huge amount, but can only imagine that it's a small tip of the iceberg. I see Sheldon just commented Two Wheel Sunday on June 1st. I don't know if you've ever heard of Two Wheel Sunday.
No.
It's like an outdoor market. I don't want to call it a market, but rally. They do it in Calgary, and you get anywhere from like, I shouldn't say this because they'll probably kick my butt, but like 10,000 riders show up, and all the different organizations set up booths. They have different bike shops. I know like Elevate and IFK, Cerberus, like tons of different groups show up and they set up, showcase what they're doing, and then bikes just roll in, stop. You lots of activities. There's food, usually like stuff for the kids, like face painting or balloon stuff, and then there's lots of stuff. Like I think I just saw that Elevate and IFK are doing an FXR show and shine. So they're bringing down all the dynas and showing them off, which is really great. And yeah, it's been running for a few years, but
Who puts
yeah.
these on?
Say it again.
Who puts those on?
Bobby Baum is one of the guys that is like the founders of it. I know it's switched back and forth with who was running it last year, but I think he's doing it again and full steam. But I know he's looking for somebody to eventually take it over.
Do you know what it's called? Like
Two Wheel Sunday.
Two Wheel Sunday. Yeah,
it's the first Sunday of every June. I think they've been doing it for like 8 years. Oh, we got our Ottawa team on here too.
I just want to see it. Oh, I do that.
Yeah, and then also One Broken Biker will be in Ottawa at the Ink and Wheels show in Ottawa, which is pretty awesome.
I think I've been announcing that.
Yeah, have you? Yeah, they told me they get quite a few people show up, so we're excited. Our team's gonna be there for the show. What's up, Cheryl?
Yeah, I found it. Cool. I just want to make sure I get this into my show along the way in my life. Because these are things that's I like people talking to me from Alberta. Because you can show me where all the cool stuff is that I can't find. I had nicest guy ever. Brad who owns who does that one last ride, the Hertz service.
You know what? He just messaged me and I lost his contact because you lose messages. People will message me and they get buried and then I can't find it. And we were going to do something together, but I ended up not being able to connect with him. But that's a pretty great thing that he's doing. I can imagine that would be, a shout out to him for sure. That's
and you got to have the right, that you got to have your own the right personality to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Right. And be respectful and
absolutely. And that's a business that you'd be very careful with that too, Yeah.
And he stays in touch with me all the time. He's a great guy. Yeah. And you can just Google it's one last ride. It's not one.
I think I'm going to write it down. One last ride.
And you can Google him. I know he's got his own Facebook page. I believe he's got a website too.
Yeah, I've seen his stuff before and we had a quick conversation, but you know how it is. You lose things. Yeah.
Well, because if it's in passing at a big motorcycle event, did you guys do it is just one last ride.ca.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a very good guy. Oh, wait. There he is. So he's been sending me some photos and you can't see it from this side, but he rebuilt the motor. He had the whole motor redone, and the deck that the coffin sits on, he's had it all, took all the wood up, and redid all the wood and stained it and polished it. Looks like $1 million. Yeah, looks great.
Yeah.
All new hardware for the handles and all the buckles and whatever it is, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So from there, he introduced me to the guys from the Treaty 8, Red Rum. Club. What a bunch
Red Rum they're great.
Yeah. It really took me by it caught me off guard how tight they are and how giving they are, all the stuff they do up there for
They had a horrible motorcycle accident last year.
We talked about it.
Oh, it was horrible. OBB was obvious, like was there, not, I shouldn't say there, but OBB supported the family, but they've just been nothing but absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously we didn't know them before, and that often happens. We don't know we don't know the riders, and then they go down, they find out about what we're doing, and then we support them, and then they become big supporters and helpers.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the worst accident we had ever seen in our
That was,
organization.
even when I first read about it, I covered it as soon as I saw it online in the newspaper.
Yeah.
I did a video about it, and it was unbelievable just to read about it.
Yeah.
And then to speak like we're talking now to the guy that was beside one of the guys that perished. He was in, you know how we ride on the highway.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're from the scene.
Yeah.
And the bike brushed by his bike, and unfortunately got the man beside him.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
Horrible. And then the trucker, like he was charged and later found that he was under the influence. And I don't even think he had I shouldn't
Not-
speak on it because I don't know too much. I just read some stuff in the news, but
I recall that stuff.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Red Rum, I'm a big supporter of them. Went to their fundraiser for that family, and they're very like in the Edmonton area. They're heavily in that area, and they come to bike nights and stuff. And great
Yeah.
people.
And it's good to see. I wasn't sure. Like I said, I don't know nothing about you, which is even better. I like doing interviews when I don't know anything about
too.
it. I can ask the real questions that people want to know. Like I wasn't sure whether you were like suit and tie people that got in there, or if you're part of the bike community, and you're part of the bike
Oh
community.
yeah. I have worked really hard on this organization. When I first started it, I was quite young. Like I'm 37 now, so I've been running it for 13 years. I was in my 20s. I didn't know what I was doing. I knew nothing about biking other than I just got my license and my dad was teaching me how to ride.
And
And I had worked at a biker bar, if that's what you want to call it, in Calgary, and a lot of my customers were bikers, so I was around it. But as I grew this organization, you get people that want to be a part of the organization, want to join the club, like join it. And then I'd have people being like, we should make this an MC. We should make this an MC. And I dabbled, like not dabbled, but every time somebody brings a question to me, I'm always like, well, maybe. Like, I don't ever want to say no about anything. I don't know. And I very much am so happy that we didn't go that route, because that's not what this organization's about. It's not about club. It's not about, and there's a place for that. And there's a place for MCs and RCs, and I don't want to be that. I never have wanted to be that. I never want to be in a riding club, or have that type of relationship. And so our organization is very much, we're non-religion. We're not an MC. We don't care about anything outside of One Broken Biker, like outside of injured riders, period. That is it. I don't want to, we're just not about that. And, we get a lot of other people being like, well, why aren't you donating to this organization? Because we're doing a fundraiser. And I'm just like, no, because every single dollar we bring in goes to injured riders. And I can't stress it enough. We're not spending money at any other place than helping those injured riders and running the organization. That costs money.
Yeah.
But there was a couple of years we had guys come on board. They're on our board of directors and they wanted it to be a club, like 3-piece, let's get it patched in. And I put it to a vote. I was like dead against it, but I was like, we have a board of directors, let's all vote. And it got strike down. And I was like, never bring this up again. We're never talking about this again, because I don't want it to be an MC. I don't want it. I want to be compared to like Red Cross or like, an actual charity or an actual nonprofit that can get a government grant so that they can support people. That's where we would want to.
I don't know what everyone's big hurry to go from like that, from the way you described the way it works and the way you do things, how someone would want to take it from that to a motorcycle club, because I've been in a motorcycle club and they're night and day.
Yeah.
So you'd be changing everything about yourself.
Yeah. And you got to also understand, though, there is something to be said about men wanting to be in a club, like wanting to be in that brotherhood. And some people don't belong in that. And some people don't respect it.
Yeah.
And I obviously am not anywhere near any of that, but I know people. I have family. Like
Yeah.
I have a family of riders, and some of them have friends that are in 1% clubs, and I don't know why people would want that, but there's a reason. There's a
Yeah,
reason
yeah.
for it, and I respect that, but this organization is not. We will support injured riders. We will support MCRC's
Right.
club. Like, we don't care.
The one thing I like that changed a lot over the years is back in the day when I was doing it, there was, can't say none, but not very many RCs.
Yeah.
And if they were, they kept themselves low. Like
Low.
we never saw them. We didn't notice them.
Yeah.
But and I don't think if we did notice them, they would have been allowed to have the
The
three
three
piece
piece. Yeah.
back then, right? It's changed over the years.
Yeah.
But I like that they've opened it up some, and that some of them don't need to have everything in a three piece and look like Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
But they want to have something.
Yeah.
They want to ride together.
Yeah.
And
It's a brotherhood.
Most of them just want to drink beer, have a bike night, and once you do a charity event, a dice run or
Oh, whatever. For sure. Yeah, there's lots of like that, and I think that that's a good to just be there and be in that.
It's good to have a motorcycle community
Yeah.
again.
And I will definitely say, like, this organization has brought so much community into my life, that I never even knew about, but yeah, I just want to help injured people. That's all I care about.
Right. That's your mission. Your mission isn't for anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where the clubs comes in politics. But I do like the RCs because they're kind of the same. And as much as they're not out to change the world, like I really like, there's a couple around this area, north of London, and they help out the hospices in their town. They raffle a Harley and they do cool things like that, right?
Yeah.
And they're just a bunch of dudes in their 50s like I am. And they got a bunch of bikes and they got a spot to go and hang out together, and that's what they do. I think that's the more biking should have been brought back to that, which it's happening, right?
Yeah.
Back when I was a biker, man, the only person with a patch on was us 1%ers.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally, like, I started riding about 13, 14 years ago, and it definitely was not, I only rode with guys. It's the only people I knew that had motorcycles. And there was no clubs or groups or anything that I was aware of. And when we did our very first fundraiser, we weren't trying to start anything. It was just, we got to help my family. And it wasn't even my idea. I had one of the girls I worked with. She was like, we got to do this. We're doing this. And I was like, I don't even know what a poker run is. I don't even know how to public speak. Put a microphone in front of my face. There's no. And now it's like, holy shit, every single thing you can think of, there's an organization there for it.
Yeah.
Right. Which is cool because it is a brotherhood, and they bring they bring their group together. But sometimes I'm like, every weekend there's something. It's very hard to plan an event around trying to help injured riders.
This calendar I put together, because I've tried to put everything I could find on Facebook from coast to coast. And we're gonna have to put extra flaps in, because I'm stealing whatever poster they put on Facebook, and I'm getting it printed onto the poster.
Oh wow!
And we're gonna have to put in extra pages for the events. So it's only gonna be a 6-month poster. I think I've got 107 events.
Wow!
It's 6 months, and you only get 4 weekends a month.
Yeah.
So your time's pretty small. When June is like crazy. There's everything happening in June. Have you guys, at this point in 13 years, you've done every sort of thing that you can do on a motorcycle?
We try, like we do all different types of events, and not all motorcycle, like not all of them. Like we have galas and dinners and stuff that are bigger fundraisers trying to raise a lot of money, but we do scavenger hunts, poker runs, dice runs, the bug run. You put a sticker on your bike, and then whoever's got the most bugs on the sticker wins the pot. It's $5 a sticker.
Go for a long one.
Yeah, we started doing that, I think, like last year.
And does everyone go the same route, or you can pick?
Yeah, well, we've done it before, like any of our events. So we'll do a scavenger hunt, and it's throughout Calgary. We do this massive scavenger hunt, and it's just go get a picture with yourself in front of whatever mural we have listed. And everybody buys a sticker for $5, put it on their bike. Some guys put it on their helmets, they put it on their windshields, and then whoever has hit the bullseye on the bug or on the sticker,
No,
they win, $100 or something.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what Doug got a little rant in for. It's
Yeah,
You're
there
right.
you go.
You're right though. I like loud pipes, but you even got these groups of guys now too. They got they don't do any patch thing,
No.
but they name their group because I talk about them every week, and they do a weekly ride, and they all get together with their sport bikes and they go do what they do. They're no different than anyone else. They're doing it. They're doing it. They're out there. They're on the
Oh
road.
yeah.
You know, that's what I like about it. They're all out there on the road. The one guy really tries to do a lot of stuff with his group. So good on him, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about effort because, like you say, all of this stuff is so time consuming.
Oh, it sure is.
Now, for
Yep.
everyone watching, if they want to help, is the best way just go on the website.
Yeah, or come to an event, but
I'm doing the
you know,
event would be the best.
if you buy a membership online, it's $45. You get your membership card. We send you out the package, but we also throw your name into the bikes we're giving away. So that's a huge, huge way
Yeah.
of supporting us. And then, yeah, making
But, like,
donations, anything.
And is this list only for Alberta?
No,
yes,
keep
it's
scrolling
only
down.
it's only for
Nope,
Calgary,
Scroll
right?
down. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
Look at all this stuff
Edmonton.
you guys got going on, man. Tons of
Yeah.
stuff. And
We just
these
got to put
ones,
the Ontario events in.
they'll get populated as they get put together.
Yeah. So these are all events that we are hosting.
Your area, or BC, you said they have their own area, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The poker run. I always wish I never, well, not to say I can't ever do it in the future, but I still haven't rode out there and gone through the mountains and all that stuff.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
So all you see is all them big skies.
Yeah.
I love them big skies and those mountains up there. Not that I've never been to the BC, but definitely never on a motorcycle.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and I've tried living in Calgary a couple times through my life. I just can't get along with the city. There's something about it.
Is it the city or the people?
Well, yeah, the people, they're a little bit
Yeah.
obnoxious. So
I live.
that was my age, though.
I live in Calgary, but I spend a lot of time in Edmonton. I basically live in Edmonton part-time. And the people, the difference between Calgary and Edmonton is like they're only 2 hours and 45 minutes away from each other, polar opposite.
They don't seem very laid back in Calgary.
No, we're like white collar, like go, 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 money, money, money.
Right. So that's where the offices for the petroleum companies are, I think. It's in
Yeah.
Calgary. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did Sheldon say? Being part of One Broken Biker is one of the most fulfilling things I've done in my life. Great cause, some fantastic people.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely, right. That's always good. And see, I would love it down there, Doug. I would. I'm on my way to getting involved with the North American Templars and stuff they do to help kids, victimized kids of assault and stuff like that. So that's where I'm going to throw my next bunch of effort into, and I'm going to keep this channel going because I love this channel and the people that are like Doug and these guys that come in the chat and talk to me.
Yeah.
I love talking with them all every day on the chat and seeing how they're doing and all that stuff.
That's so awesome.
It becomes a thing, right? So
Yeah.
I'm trying to nail down what time of the day I'm gonna be there every day so that we can make it work. And the mornings I just went and got a full-time job, man. All my crap financially is falling apart, so I had to go and do the job thing again. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I won't be able to come on live until probably 7:30 at night after work.
Yeah. Is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, but I'll keep it going because I like doing, like I said, I like showing all the other sides of bikers and when you're looking at how many events there are all across Canada, you'd be like, holy shit, there's a lot of things going on, man.
Yeah.
Like it's nonstop everywhere.
Oh yeah, for
And,
sure.
and lots of good people and lots of people and they're all helping out their communities or they're helping out kids or
Yeah.
dog or animal shelters or
Yeah.
hospices or and you guys with helping out people that have been in Iraq.
Yeah.
Oil patch hurry up is nonstop. What does that mean? Oh, oil patch is nonstop.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. And
know.
Cheryl, thanks for doing the shout out of $45. I totally agree with you that, you know, it's $45 a membership and God forbid that somebody ends up having to use it, but it's there if you need it. So yeah.
And I
But
think
yeah.
that Doug said he was going to get a membership too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
that's so
did.
great.
So that's cool of you, Doug. We appreciate that, brother.
Yeah.
I think those memberships are a fantastic idea.
Yeah, it's a good way for us to continue doing what we're doing. We have like the auto renew. You can sign up and then it's just automatically comes off and you can, that is just how we support these injured riders, right? This year I want to grow our membership to 2,000 members. We're usually around like 1,200 to 1,500 per year, but I would love to see it to get to 2,000. But the more people we help, the more people that buy memberships. So just want to keep it going and, you know,
Are you going to use your channel to interview
injured
the
riders.
yes?
Yeah, that's the plan. But I also don't want it just to be about that. I want it to be positive because, I know how damaging it can be being surrounded by injured people all the time. And it takes a toll on you mentally. And I can't imagine that people would always want to be tuning into
Right.
that negative side. But what I would like to do is not focus solely on the injured people, but let's focus on how One Broken Biker supported you and how this community stepped up for you and where they are
Yeah.
now I met this incredible guy. I'm probably just going to do another live video with him and then have that, but he was injured. Basically his leg was ripped off, but he was a military paramedic. So he completely stayed calm. His leg was bleeding out. He's like, I need a tourniquet. Somebody get me a tourniquet so we can, uh, you know, brace my leg.
Yeah,
And a
yeah,
cop walked up to him and was like, do you know your name? Trying to help him. And the guy's looking at him and he has a tourniquet hanging from his jacket. It's a cop with a tourniquet on his jacket. And he looks at him. He's like, is that a tourniquet? And he's like, oh yeah, they just made us put these on our jackets and ended up saving his life. And he's like, I tied the tourniquet. Like,
wow, man.
and then he just had an incredible story. Like he skydives, he snort, like he, what's that called? Scuba dives. He does all this different stuff. He still rides and he has all these different legs that he switches out. And it never slowed him down.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, the one guy who kind of helped me get this channel organized and going, and then for the first of all, I tried to keep up with the other biker news ones and just read whatever stories in the newspaper. Then it got boring because it's just stories about who got arrested.
Yeah.
And it gets boring after a while. And so I decided to pick this lane. I think I'm the only one doing this lane, but he is an amputee from getting T-boned on his Dyna. And that accident kind of not forced him, but that this is what he does. He had a job, I think, on a boat before. He's a merchant marine. And so I put him behind the desk. He did the channel. He's doing well on it. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
but and there's a picture he's got on Instagram, and he's sitting there, and the bottom half of his legs over there, and
he's looking at his leg.
yeah, because I guess his shoulder was all smashed up, and someone had to turn the key to him, or he wouldn't have made it either.
Right. That's so awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, he made it. Got back on his bike, rode his bike through Brazil. Actually,
Yeah.
I should have told him I was doing this interview.
I'll tell you this right now. I've got my phone here. You probably can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't tell you if all of them are from this, but we have sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold on. Maybe it hasn't been sold. There's forms filled out. We had 9 forms filled out. Are they memberships? Yeah. We've sold 9 memberships while we've been on the phone or on this.
I love
So that's pretty fucking awesome, you guys.
it. That's yes. Thanks everyone who bought a membership,
Yeah.
man. That is
Like I can see them
amazing.
coming in because I like to see what's happening.
No,
Keep an eye on things, right? So,
I love it. I'm glad this helped in any little way. And
but yeah,
and
it
you
just
know,
all goes to support injured riders.
yeah, and it's important because a lot of people, yeah, that's where I met Blair, and he carries a tourniquet because of my from that picture he showed.
Yeah.
And I interviewed um the guy who does Biker Down in Canada,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I went and took the course when I
Yeah.
came to London. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I could do an interview, a video about how the course was.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
so I've done the whole thing. I bought the little packet you can put in your saddlebag. Like I
Yeah.
said, the only component I'm missing at this time is a motorcycle.
Well, you know what? You buy a membership, you get your free ticket in, and maybe you'll win one.
Well, yeah, but I'm going to buy a membership at an event. Isn't it better to buy them at the event?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
okay. I'll buy
Yeah.
one online then.
Yeah.
I'll absolutely buy one.
And then, yeah, what we do is we just take everybody's name and we just start putting them into the draw. So every membership just gets an automatic draw. And then if I see you in person, you can also put your name in for free.
Oh, right on.
If you make a donation, it supports injured riders. So
Right. That's cool. That's very
Yeah.
cool. I always like the Harley raffles. I never win them.
yeah, you never know
always-
though.
I always like to have in the back of my mind, geez, I'm going to win that bike. I got
Yeah.
one already from those guys I was talking about north of London, the Road Relics, for
Yeah.
for a soft tail. I bought my raffle ticket
Oh,
already.
awesome.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I
that's
think
great.
there's another one in Lindsay, Ontario. They're doing a V-Rod.
Yeah.
And it's I think it's a small shop, and they host a bike night, and they have for years.
Yeah.
And they're rafting off a V-Rod. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, I'm not sure what it.
V-Rod.
I love them things.
Yeah. Well, they're fast.
They're really fast.
Did they bring them back? Like, I want to say they brought them back like 2 years ago or something for like I could be wrong, but
I don't know.
yeah,
I
I know
thought
Mick from Calgary. He used to own the Canes Harley Davidson. He owns Canes motorcycle shop, and he has like 10 V rods, and he's
No.
raced them and drag raced them, and yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
Oh, my buddy had one. He used to let me drive it in Toronto. I remember I was in second gear with the clutch out, and I cracked the throttle, and the back end broke loose. Wow,
Wow.
I like that.
Yeah, and then just straightens right out, like
Yeah.
whew.
Down that highway you go. Yeah.
yeah,
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 it was pretty cool.
yeah.
Well, what group are you, Caribou Harley Rider? You guys are giving away a sporty. And you're out in Alberta too, are you?
It sounds familiar.
Busy?
Sounds familiar, but I know a lot of people.
Yeah, well, after 13 years, you must have been at every bike show, swap meet, trade show. Do you guys
yeah.
get into the Harley trade shows, and the dealerships will let you set up?
Oh
some
yeah,
weekends and
like
all
we
that?
we've been setting up at the Edmonton Harley Davidson or the Calgary Harley Davidson, Barnes Harley Davidson in BC, and we always raise like tons of money because we bring people into the store and then they come in, then they go buy stuff and they
Yeah,
support our
right.
organization. So, yeah,
Well, they let Biker Down run their first aid courses in the dealership if they got a big room somewhere, which most of them do, right? The boardroom, a meeting room, whatever. It's all
Yeah.
There's only like 14, 15 people in a session.
yeah, that's good.
But it was a good session. Shows you how to get the helmet off them without, if you need to, if it's got,
Mhm.
and to make decisions. So, you'll make that decision. Does he even need his helmet off? Is it
Yeah.
going to improve anything? That's not.
Yeah, it's a touch and go because I'll tell you, like my dad crashed and I was off my motorcycle. Like we're driving down the highway going 110, 120 kilometers an hour. I can tell he's going to go down just the way he's lost control.
Mhm.
I basically slam on the brakes, pull over. I didn't even put the kickstand. I just dropped the bike and started running towards him because I knew he was going to be injured the way he was going back and forth. He was almost hitting the pavement. Like he was violent. And by the time he stopped, he stood up. He stood right up. And I was like, holy fuck. And he just looked at me. He's like, holy fuck. He's like, get my bike. But then I looked at him and his back, like you could tell his back was broken because he was not standing. He was like weirdly crooked. And then his one arm was hanging so low, like it was almost touching his knee, like past his knee. And I was just like, oh, you need to lay down.
Yeah.
Like I think you just need to lay down. And then he went down and basically was kind of out of it. And then I went to take his helmet off. Thank fucking God I didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you might have
he broke
paralyzed.
his neck, right?
Yeah,
and I went to take it off and somebody was like, don't touch him. You don't know that he doesn't have a gash in his head or you're gonna like, don't touch him. And then thank God there was people there. There was a nurse right there and she just took over. And I was obviously 20, I don't even know, 25. And I was just freaking out.
Well,
like,
you were in shock already.
Oh yeah. It was my mom's birthday and like we were trying to get back and I had to go to work and it was just and it was the holiday, July long weekend. So
you thought of all those things that don't matter. And
yeah, you really do. You don't realize that you're carrying that around and yeah. And then they wanted to take his bike to the impound and I was like, oh fuck no. I said, my dad will kill me if his bike goes to an impound and it's fucked up. Like you can't drive it. And the cop looks at me and I was like, no, like, can't you just take it to my house? Like, I'll just put it in my garage. And he's like, well, you'd have to pay for that yourself. And I was like, okay. So we hire a tow truck to come out and we get it on. And then I got to ride home. Well, I just got my license. Like I'm fucking new. And I have to ride home down the highway.
Sure.
Fucking my dad just basically, I don't know if he's dead. Yeah. And I'm like I shouldn't say every, because there's lots of women out there, but I am literally lost leaving my front door. So I am turned around all the time, directionally challenged. So I didn't know. They're like, well, you can just come to the hospital. I'm like, I don't know how to get to the fucking hospital. I know how to get to home from here, period. So I ended up riding in the shoulder and I'm at McKnight and I got to go to Douglasdale. So I've got to go, I'm a good 25, 30 minutes on this highway. And I rode the entire shoulder the whole way because I was and I was in the fast side because I didn't want to be on the right because then the constant like off ramps. Yeah. So I stayed in the fast lane, but in the shoulder crying, trying to get my fucking ass home, just terrified. Like it was the scariest thing of my life. That's for sure.
I can't believe you rode home after that.
I had to. I was like, I gotta get this fucking bike home.
Yeah.
And then I got home and I was like, I'm selling it. I am fucking selling this bike. I'm never stepping foot on it. And then I went and saw my dad in the hospital and he was good the first day. Like he could talk. And then the next day he coded and he was out for like a week. Oh. But he was like, no fucking way you're not. You're going to ride here tomorrow and you're going to come see me every day on your fucking motorcycle. You're going to ride because I'm going to ride. And I was just like, oh, fuck, I have to keep riding because he's going to be mad at me. Yeah. Well,
then he's a real biker then.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's true.
It means that, it means the world to him, right? He wants to get back on.
Yeah. Yeah. It was it was scary. It was changed my whole fucking life. Like, yeah. And you know, not to like get too much into it, but like the direction my life was going at that time, I had just gotten home from I spent 4 months in Thailand trying to find myself because I was doing way too many drugs and drinking way too much. Mm-hmm. And so I basically packed my shit up and was like, I just need to go travel and be away from everybody. And I did this whole yoga thing, became a yoga teacher, and then I got back and my dad crashed. And I always think if I didn't quit, like if I didn't do that trip, I don't think I would have been mentally prepared to deal with the outcome of his accident. Because it was years of recovery for him. He's still recovering, but years of recovery for myself mentally, watching that and seeing it. And if I wouldn't have done that, I don't think I would have been able to. I would have just ended up drinking, and I did a lot of bad drugs. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was partying way too hard and it was getting the best of me and I knew it. And I was like, I'm going to end up either with a DUI or killing someone or, doing something stupid. So,
That's the problem because the partying can start out so much fun. Then all
mhm.
of a sudden it takes over, right? And when I was in the club, I just went and hooked up with and got married to a
Yeah.
woman who wanted to be right there with me the whole time we were partying. And it became a bad thing, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It became a bad thing. And having kids in the middle of all that, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. And getting arrested because it was that time that our club was getting arrested
Yeah.
and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. How long was he in the hospital for? Not that I want to dwell on your dad's
Oh, no,
crash.
it's all good.
anymore.
He was there like almost 4 months in the trauma unit. And the way that the hospital set it up is like the closer you are to the nurse's desk, this is what they told me. The closest you are to the nurse's desk, the worse off you are.
Oh, yeah.
And he stayed next to that nurse's desk probably for like a month and a half. And he was like the number one bed. And then he got lung infections and then he got really sick. And it was just a shit show because it was one thing after another. Then they found cancer and then they found a heart issue. He had to get like a stent put in because they're like, you're going to have a heart attack any moment. And his left arm doesn't work anymore. Like he's got no tricep bicep movement. So yeah, his recovery was 3 months in the hospital, 4 months in the hospital. And then he finally was just like, I'm fucking leaving. Like I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home. And he was in a full like bodysuit. We called it a turtle shell, but he was in a full like, cause he broke his back and his neck. So, but he was a stubborn bastard and he still fucking is. Still is a stubborn bastard.
Now I got to ask, has he rode since?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's on a bagger and it's bigger than the one before. And I don't know how the fuck he rides it. I'm telling you. Don't know how he does it, but he does it.
One of the old timers back when I was kind of before I got into the club, but I was starting to meet all the biker guys around my city. I worked in a strip club. That's how come I got to meet everybody. I was a disc jockey there. I stayed there for 12 years. I liked it so much. But one of the old guys, just a Ford work, he wasn't a club guy or nothing, was at a big party that was a big annual party at some guy's place in the country. And he was coming back up the 401, the divided highway. And I don't know how he did it, but he ended up in the median side. And his bike was doing an end over roll. And he lost his foot out of the whole deal.
Oh.
So his foot was laying in the boot down the shoulder somewhere. And they tried for years and years to get his foot reattached and take and live and work again for him. But all through all that time, he'd have a big bird cage on his foot. And he'd be out there riding his Decker, the old prick.
Yeah. He didn't care.
No, man, you're not keeping him off his bike.
Yeah.
He'd shift with a walking stick. He'd do whatever he
He
had
didn't give a fuck. Yeah. Yeah. That's how, like, I would say after my dad, he was like right back on a bike, but he bought a trike and he rode that for like a hot summer and he hated it. Fucking hated it.
Wasn't down with the trike yet,
No. And then he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna ride two wheels again. And like, mind you, his arm, tricep, bicep don't work, but his hand works. So it's very weird. Like he can't do like a motion like this, but he can use his hand. So he can get his arm on and then he's good. He drops that fucking bike. He ain't picking it up. There's no fucking way.
Balance has got to be hell of an issue.
Oh yeah. And when I ride with him, I'm just like, just shaking in my boots because it's just trauma and, brings back all the crap.
Yeah. I know. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to draw.
Oh, fuck. I've talked about it so many times. I'm good.
I didn't even know that was even part of the story, right?
Yeah. I love people knowing it, right? Because this whole organization, everything in this organization has a meaning and people don't realize it. I'll even tell you a little bit. So the name One Broken Biker, that we didn't just make that up. When my dad was in and out of this coma, and like he was recovering, one of the things he kept saying is, I'm just a broken biker. I'm just one broken biker. I'm just another broken biker. Like he wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. I'm just one broken biker. Nobody cares about me. I'm just broken biker. And when we decided, hey, we're going to put this fundraiser on, it was originally, we didn't have a name for it. And then we were like, hey, we should do this once a year, help one injured rider a year, like my family. Because when he was in the hospital in the summer, every single fucking room was a motorcycle accident. Every single person was a motorcycle accident. And I was like, why are these not on the news? Like, nobody knows about these accidents.
Yeah.
And then we are like, well, we'll just donate to one injured rider a year. I'll just walk into the hospital with a check for $5,000 and give it to some random person. Like, that's how my head was. And
Yeah.
we were like, okay, well, we got to call this organization something. And then
Yeah.
I was like, one broken biker. That is all he says over, like, one broken biker. And then it was like, well, OBB, that, you know me, like it just kind of stuck. And then
So this whole thing genuinely for you is for your dad still.
yeah.
more or less. Yeah.
Yeah, it's way more than that now, right? Like, obviously, the first couple years were like, I wanted to grow this to support. The first year, we only raised like $2,500, like the first, but that was a good event. And that went right to my parents or my dad. And then the next year, we raised more money and more money and more money. And we would give all the money away to one person. So we would do one big fundraiser. And then by the time the event came on, we would be like, okay, we're giving this check to whoever. Well, there was this one year, Chuck, I don't even know what year, maybe 2013 or maybe 14. His name's Chuck Darren. And I don't know him. Somebody comes into the bar. We're looking for an injured rider to support because we just did this huge fundraiser and we got $5,000 to give somebody. Wow. We don't know who we're giving it to. Or we're about to do the event. That's what it is. We're about to do the event. And he's like, we hand him the money. And he's like, I don't fucking want that. And I looked at him. I was like, you're going to take this fucking money. We told people that we raised this for you. And he's like, no, I don't need it. I don't want that money. And I was like, he's like, give it to somebody else. I said, no, I can't. Like, we've been.
But you can't.
Anyways, that was the moment. He ended up taking it and it supported him. And he's a huge supporter of OBB and like such an amazing human. But that moment was like, okay, maybe we need to shift this and break the money up and not just give it to one injured rider.
Yeah. But well, that's it. That's what they call the learning curve, right?
Yeah.
So you learn how to refine it, and then and you learn how to spread it out.
Oh yeah, just growing pains.
Right, and then you realize I like to help as many different people with a smaller amount and figure it out. Right, you figure out whatever works for you guys.
Yeah,
I'm glad you guys are doing it. I think it's a wicked cool idea, and it's all grassroots. You know, for the most part, and you guys are still. So for anyone listening in Canada, they're still looking for different people for different areas.
Yeah, for sure we are. The right people. Like, and we say that like, because you get people that, oh, I want to join this club. And it's like, we're not a club. We don't run like that. We don't ride like that. Like, we don't even we do group rides and stuff and we come together and do community stuff, but we're just some people have the wrong idea about motorcycle groups and they immediately want to be the next Sons of Anarchy, and I'm not into it.
It's funny how many people want to be
this flippin' Zippo Saturday at noon, Big Rock. We'll be there. You're coming.
What's that?
That's where we're doing that. I did a call out to do a bike gathering.
Oh, this is it.
Yeah, it's on Saturday at noon at the Big Rock Brewery, and I'm hoping there's 100 people there.
Thanks for coming, Claire. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, man. So there you go. So you're getting responses already.
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome.
That's good. All right. Well, what else you got? We need to cover any more stuff? What do you think we hit?
Just saying a big shout out to our, we've got two incredible law firms that have jumped on our organization, Cumming and Gillespie, and they do personal injury and med mal. And then we've got McLeod Law. Motorcycle lawyers, they have been just absolutely phenomenal. Both firms, I can't speak enough about them. They've helped our injured riders big time, and we're definitely seeing people coming back to us, thanking us for the support. So that's a big shout out to them and what they're doing and helping us so that we can raise money across Canada.
No, because yeah, no matter what, you're always going to get more people every year. I
Yeah.
guarantee you that. Because the bigger you get, then the bigger, the more well known you are, and then people know there's a website for that.
Yeah.
There's an app for that.
There's an app for that. Yeah, exactly.
No, that's cool. And I think everyone, if they can, even if they join it into one of their events for their clubs, see if you can give these guys a hand, because you never know. I
Yeah.
don't mean to jinx anyone, but you never know.
You never know.
It could be one of them days that you could use a hand.
Yeah. And it's a
So
good thing to support, right? We've helped over, God, we're over 1,000 injured. We're going to hit over 1,200 injured supported this year. And we're very close to donating $1 million, like 760,000. And last year we donated over 170,000. So we're going to teeter the end of this year pushing towards $1 million. And next year we'll definitely go over $1 million supported, $1 million donated out.
what an accomplishment, eh? And that's
Yeah,
all stuff from donations and
we
whatever.
we sell hoodies and t-shirts and clothing, and any of the proceeds from that go back to the organization. And yeah, we're trying to raise money so that we can help more injured. And eventually we would love to increase the amount. Pre-COVID, we were going to help and donate $1,000 per injured. Because every year we were increasing it, like, okay, we can increase it $50 for every injured rider next year, and then $100, because we started off donating 200. And then every year we'd increase it. We hit 800. And yeah, I would like to increase that amount, but I can't because we don't have enough fundraising. So the more people that fundraise, the more money we can give out.
Not quite there yet. Hey, Straight Jacket, thanks for coming, bro. You came in on the tail end, but thanks for coming anyway, brother. I appreciate every click that we get.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every like, every subscribe, everything. They help us out a lot on our end, because I want to keep on fine-tuning this show and just trying to make it better and better each time. I kind of put a little call out there on one of my videos. I want to get a once-a-week co-host from somewhere else in the province. So rather than do an interview, they can just tell me what's happening down where they're at.
Yeah. You could do too. You could rotate tour, like you could pick a couple people to mash up with, so that you're not always just trying to find somebody that you can, you build the camaraderie with each other. And, if you had like 5 people that you could rotate through and just have, each conversations might help you out. I don't know.
That's a good thought. It might help me out to get a couple different, like 2 guests at the same time from different folks, right? So we can all talk amongst each other. Because sometimes, I always like having I'm always in a good mood when it's interview time.
Yeah.
I love it. I just love talking to people and asking questions.
Well, you know what? You definitely have a knack for it, because I've done lots of interviews and lots of conversations. Not to get into this, but you know how to listen, and then you know how to pull questions out of people. So
nice.
You're good at it.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
Welcome.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do on my end. But I think if you guys can, we always do what we can when we're bikers. We try to help each other as much as we can. So if you're looking for someone to throw a little bit of help towards, then go check out One Broken Biker 100% on the webpage, on the Facebook page. And if you're in Alberta, go meet them in person.
Yeah.
Well, actually, more than just Alberta, but mostly in Alberta for now.
For now, yeah. Our Ontario and our BC groups are really starting to expand. So it's just a matter of time.
It won't be long. And everything just has to be put together. It takes time. Like we said earlier, there's so much time and effort. I used to do it in college, and you got to come up with something fresh once in a while that nobody else has tried. And you can really bend your brain around trying to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you get a lot of people on here chatting. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is good, eh? I like that.
Yeah, this is a good little setup.
Yeah, the StreamYard. So yeah, you should try to keep it. Well, I guess you're on it now, aren't you?
But if I did one, I'm sure price wise. I'm pretty cheap and I don't like spending money.
Yeah, me either. This
Yeah.
is the only thing I didn't mind because I knew it was important. The way it lays things out and you put the comments on the screen and all that. I like
Yeah.
that about it.
Well,
Just
and then you can go live on multiple platforms. Like that's unbelievable.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't need a guest. I can just work with my chat if I want to.
Yeah.
I've done shows like that before where it was just me doing some news, and then I ended up talking to all the people in the chat for another 25 minutes.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
get the message, it's kind of on a delay, but you can work it out.
Yeah. Well, I've been just working on doing some live stuff. I did a couple live like recordings
Mhm.
and then I was like, oh, I'll post those, but I don't like editing. I just want to fucking yap my mouth and people know it too. I do a lot of videos on Facebook and Instagram and
I
yeah.
don't edit. I
Yeah, I
one
don't wanna
shot
edit.
everything, man.
Yeah.
And
It takes so
and
much
I
time.
and I decided because before I would record my things and search for a thumbnail, I decided just to do all my stuff live.
Yeah.
Because then I don't have to download it and make sure it's in a file and make sure I remember to put it in Facebook
Yeah.
and on YouTube. It just goes on and it's there.
Yeah. Wow, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
And so yeah, and that's all I'm
Maybe
gonna
you'll be my first guest.
try. Anytime.
Anytime.
I'm always available.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Okay. All right, you
Okay.
guys in the chat, you got more questions? Now's the time. Yeah. But no, I really, really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
For coming on and hanging out with me.
Yeah, this was absolutely awesome. I didn't know what to expect, but yeah, this was great. And I love seeing all the people comment. If we haven't responded to you, we're still seeing it. So
Thanks, Spider. Have a good night, brother. Yeah. And now
Yeah.
they're just kind of all saying goodbye and see
Yeah.
you around and yeah,
awesome.
it's a good little community.
Yeah, I love it.
And if you know any other kind of cool groups out there in Alberta that I'm not aware of, let them know about me because I'm always looking for
For a
someone
guest.
yeah. And
Oh,
something
I know everybody.
something
I
that,
could-
that something that's good for the motorcycle community.
Yeah.
right?
I can
Yeah.
give you a whole stack of people. I know a ton of people in the Alberta area.
Because I don't know if I mentioned it, but I couldn't commend you enough for what you put together and what you built. You've done an amazing job.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you very much.
I
I
hope
feel like
you
I'm
know.
just getting started too. It's just starting. I finally have some really good partnerships. These law firms that have come on board, we had a different situation before that wasn't so smooth. And now we just have this beautiful partnership. And I feel like I'm just getting started. So
And it was your work that got you to this point.
yeah.
So
Well,
you
now I
imagine-
got all these other people that are starting their own groups and I encourage them, do your own videos, become the face in your region. Cause it's an incredible thing. I would say One Broken Bikers changed my life. Like I can public speak. I could never do that before. I can get on a stage, talk, no problem.
Yeah.
You know, it's changed all my people skills. It's helped me in so many ways. It's really, yeah, it's really changed my life. And I put a lot of fucking work into. Don't get me wrong. I spent a
That's
lot
what
of
I was
hours.
going to say. It's where it is because of all your hard work for all these years.
Yeah. When you got passion for something, it's just,
It
yeah.
helps, eh?
Yeah, it sure does.
So are you off, Lindsay? Have a good night. Thanks for dropping in. Oh, and I might be over checking out Stax' live here because we're almost wrapping up. No, I like I said, I hope that you're proud of yourself and all that stuff, and some people give you some accolades along the way because it's not an easy thing, and nobody understands how hard it is because you don't want to say no to anybody.
Yeah.
You gotta finally set down a firm criteria that you have to fit in this criteria. Otherwise, you'd be doing willy-nilly. It wouldn't make sense anymore.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And
Yeah, we keep our bylaws and our policies like right, you know, and sometimes I feel bad where I'm like, hey, we can't support you. Like a biker was in a car accident. It's like, sorry, that's not what our organization's for. And I feel horrible saying no, but it's just the way it is. And because we got to stay true to what our organization is, right?
It wouldn't work.
or it wouldn't work, right? And that's what I've seen. I've been in, 13 years running this group. I've watched groups come in, they come in super hot, they've got all the patches, and then they just dwindle off. And it's fine, right?
Yeah.
And some of them stick around, and then some of them shift and change. And, I just keep doing what we're doing. And my next thing is I want to start working on getting government grants so that we can have, one or two paid staff.
Mhm.
Never me. I never want to be paid. I always want to like give that to people. I have a job and I do real estate. I do my own stuff, but
Okay.
I've got a couple people on our board of directors that if that option was open for them, you could quit your job and work for OBB. I could just see how great they do in the organization and would just love that. So if anybody knows how to do government grants, hit me up,
I was
because
gonna say, have you got someone helping you?
no, it's just something we've been putting out for years, and we never.
I know one, the organization I was telling you about, because of what they do, they get some sort of grants, but he might be able to point you in the right direction to find
Yeah.
out how to at least inquire.
Yeah.
You don't know unless you ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want somebody that can come on and be a part of it, because I can't put another thing on my plate.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
I'll talk to him and see where he's at.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I really, really, really appreciate the interview.
Yeah. This
It
was great.
wicked. Yeah. And if you ever want to come back around anytime, let me know.
Absolutely. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Super. All right. I'm gonna sign this one off. It was
Okay.
a great interview, and thank you for everyone for coming in the chat and participating with us. That was wicked. I appreciate all you people very much, very much. And yeah, and thanks for linking me into your people too, and
No
all
problem.
that cool stuff that we do.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great night.
Yeah. You too.
Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.